Chapter 1: A Segregated America. In the early 1940s, America was deeply segregated. African Americans were treated as second-class citizens, facing racial discrimination and prejudice in every aspect of their lives. The U.S. military was no exception, with strict racial segregation in its ranks. Jim Crow laws enforced segregation in the South, and African Americans often faced limited opportunities and unequal treatment. However, winds of change were beginning to blow. Chapter 2: The Birth of the Tuskegee Airmen. In 1941, responding to growing pressure from civil rights activists and the African American community, the U.S. Army Air Corps made the historic decision to create an all-African American flying unit. This groundbreaking unit was initially known as the 99th Pursuit Squadron. They were to undergo their training at the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, a renowned historically black college. This marked the birth of the Tuskegee Airmen, a group of determined and courageous young men ready to prove their worth in the face of racial prejudice. Chapter 3: The Struggles of Training. The young men who would become the Tuskegee Airmen faced numerous challenges during their training. They were subjected to the same discrimination within the military that they had experienced in civilian life. Often their facilities were inferior to those of white trainees, and they were given older and less reliable equipment. Nevertheless, the future airmen were committed to their training, determined to demonstrate their capabilities. Chapter 4: Breaking Barriers. In 1943, after months of rigorous training, the Tuskegee Airmen earned their first opportunity for combat deployment. They were sent to North Africa, where they would face their first taste of combat. Their performance was closely watched, as there were skeptics who doubted their abilities. The airmen, however, displayed exceptional skill and bravery, quickly proving themselves in combat situations. Chapter 5: Combat in Europe. The Tuskegee Airmen were assigned to escort and protect Allied bombers during their perilous missions over Europe. These missions often led them deep into enemy territory, where they encountered intense anti-aircraft fire and enemy fighter planes. Despite the odds stacked against them, the airmen's dedication and skill allowed them to carry out their missions with remarkable precision. Chapter 6: The Red-Tail Angels. The distinctive red-tailed planes of the Tuskegee Airmen soon became a symbol of excellence and inspiration for bomber crews. Their record was impressive. They never lost a single bomber under their protection, earning them a reputation for being not only reliable, but also highly effective. Their red-tailed P-51 Mustangs became known as the Red-Tail Angels. Chapter 7: Triumph and Tragedy. Despite their remarkable successes, the Tuskegee Airmen were not immune to the perils of war. They suffered losses and mourned comrades who made the ultimate sacrifice. They also had to grapple with the emotional and physical toll that combat exacted from them. Their service was marked by both triumphs and tragedies. Chapter 8: Breaking the Color Barrier. The Tuskegee Airmen's outstanding performance in Europe began to break down racial barriers within the military. Their achievements played a pivotal role in President Harry Truman's 1948 decision to desegregate the armed forces, effectively dismantling the military's policy of segregation. This was a significant step towards civil rights in the United States, and it paved the way for greater integration and equality. Chapter 9: Legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee Airmen returned home from World War II as heroes and pioneers in the fight for civil rights. Their legacy extended far beyond the war. Their story inspired future generations of African American pilots, and their accomplishments were instrumental in pushing the nation towards greater racial equality. Their journey from segregation to heroism stands as a testament to the power of determination, courage, and perseverance in the face of adversity. The Tuskegee Airmen's legacy, both in the skies and on the ground, left an indelible mark on American history and continues to inspire generations as a symbol of the triumph of equality over discrimination.